kick set, with them hands, with them holes, with them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
This is why I train in martial arts. Alright, so these women get away with having a toddler fight club. They're supposed to be in a daycare center taking care of the kids. They get away with having a toddler fight club. They're not in jail. But yet you got people that don't want to sign their children up for martial arts lessons at 3 and 4 and 5 years old. I mean, I don't really know much more to say than this is ridiculous. And I wish they'd throw the book at those two ladies. But get this. Since violence is part of human nature, and it would behoove you to get your children into martial arts classes anyway so they can learn how to protect themselves from child bullies. There's not much that I can have a child do against an adult bully, especially if they're in a situation when they can't run away, especially when they're in a situation when they're being abused by an authority figure. Okay, because no matter how many lessons that the child has, that's not going to protect them from predators who want to molest them and that type of thing. Now you saw there's one boy in that video who was 4 years old to try to break it up. That little boy to me has more integrity and indomitable spirit than those two women who were trying to get those kids to fight because, quote unquote, because they were bored. Okay. Now this is not to throw all daycares under the bus, because there are plenty. It's been about 3 different daycares that have tried to get me to come through there to give the children, you know, like an after-school martial arts program. And I just haven't been able to do it because I couldn't work it into my day job schedule. But this is really a note for me that I definitely need to bring those toddler classes back. I know I told people over the years about the time when my son was a toddler and another toddler, well, the kid was older than him actually. Kid attacked him with a box cutter. He roundhouse kicks the boy in the head and makes the boy drop the box cutter. And then I think he said he hit him and then he threw him. And that took care of the boy. So for all of you who don't think that human beings are going to be dealing with violence from the time they can walk, you need to rethink that. Now I know there are a lot of schools out there that are going to charge you an arm and a leg and a pancreas to teach your child. And quite frankly, they ought to charge you an arm and a leg and a pancreas, because it takes a lot of patience and a lot of skill to be able to teach children how to do anything, especially something as complicated as a martial art. I've tried to make the county keep the classes down when I'm teaching a toddler class by just teaching in a small block, so that, because I remember from when I had kids, everything's expensive. You're already paying for daycare and diapers and formulas, and they get sick and you have to pay for all their medicine and their clothes. They're outgrowing their clothes. They have the clothes for a couple of months and you got to buy more clothes and all this other stuff. And if they got different allergies or whatever, you got to get different kind of food. I remember all that. I get it. Okay. But if you want your children to have quality instruction, you're going to have to pay. Now, the only way around it, not having to pay a lot to educate the child in the martial arts, is take them to the rec center classes. Like what I do, like I said, I'm going to start doing again. Take them to the rec center classes, or you enroll yourself and then you teach your child at home. But overall, I mean, I find this pretty reprehensible. I have never seen anybody even let 3, 4, and 5-year-olds be serious competitors. So why on earth would you think that you should let 3, and 4, and 5-year-olds be in the fight club? I know why. Because you're sick, you're evil, and you obviously hate children. Those women are sick, evil, and they obviously hate children. They probably hate little boys especially. That's why they would do that. So I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to close. So if you agree and think it's okay to have toddlers fighting each other in a fight club type of situation, where one little boy doesn't even understand why his friend is pummeling him down on the dirt, then I'm not the martial arts instructor for you. I'm definitely not someone you should train with if you think that's how you should handle toddlers. But if you would take the time to teach them and then explain to them, okay, we're going to practice this and that, and you have them doing the safety, and they have proper safety equipment, and it's supervised, and they're not just trying to murder each other, then you have something that I could, go along with. Something that's, controlled, something that's sanctioned, something that's properly coached, something that's in a supportive environment. Not where you're just cheering while one child's getting the snot beat out of them by the other child. Now, if you see how that one little boy grabbed the other little boy and pretty much put him in a headlock, he really did like a Koshi-Garuma, and then came down and started pounding the boy in the face. If there's nothing else we can learn from this tragedy, we can at least look at that as this is how people tend to fight in the street type thing. And you can train your kids accordingly to try to avoid a type of attack like that. So that's pretty much it. Women like that who think that it's okay to make children beat each other because the children are bored need to go under the jail. And I can't believe that the prosecutor is not prosecuting. Yes, I can. What am I saying? The victims of that crime probably don't have enough money for the prosecutors to be scared of them. So this is why I train in martial arts. If you want your child to be able to defend him or herself at 3 or 4 and 5 years old, you need to start taking it yourself, and then you can bring your child in it, and you hook up with a positive instructor. It can be me, but if it's not me, somebody else, anybody else who recognizes that what those women were doing was cruelty, sadism, insanity, and just straight up evil. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share this with people like to talk about the martial arts. And peace.